Welcome back, everyone. Where we last left off, Calliope said, "Oops." Pay no attention to that. Do carry on. So, anyway, like I said, she just finished telling me that she was able to beat her brother in this reality, but apparently that wasn't supposed to happen. So she lived out the rest of her life in a doomed timeline and eventually died. She didn't mention how. And then she did this kind of funny, fancy transition? Darn, I don't think I'll do it justice. A transition to a story about my brother, who was stuck in a doomed timeline too. I think I'll mess it up if I try to match what she said word for word. She had a really fanciful way of putting things. There's no need to try to recite what she said. Just tell the story in your own voice, as you have been already all along. It'll be more fun that way. Okay, so the bottom line was, almost all of our friends had died, and John's only hope was to return to his planet and attempt to complete his personal quest. As you know, we all have personal quests that are unique to our planets. The nature of the quest is never easy to understand at first. They are presented to us through enigmatic riddles, conveyed through the lore of the land. For John, it was to journey to the place where constellations danced beneath the clouds. It was said that the air of breath was to free the stars from the shade and release them into heaven. This was just a mysterious way of saying that what he really had to do. The stars were actually fireflies. They'd been flying around, trapped beneath the overcast sky since John first brought Loas into existence by his arrival. And paradoxically, they'd been imprisoned there for ages even before that, such as the way of our lands. They are newly born the day we arrive, and yet they've always been. To free the fireflies, John would have to play a special song. It had to be played just right to summon the breeze through the pipes. But there was a problem. The pipes were all clogged with oil. The first day John came along to his land, oil began oozing up from the core, flooding the pipes and filling the oceans. To play the song, first he'd need to clean up the oil. And to do that, you'd need to face the slumbering one himself. You would need to face Typhoeus. But as he wandered through the catacombs down to the planet's core, he wasn't thinking about freeing fireflies or cleaning up oil. He was seeking the help of his denizen to master a power he couldn't control. Luckily for him, denizens always seem to understand what you want, and more importantly, what you need, whether you know it or not. Is something wrong, Kelly? Go ahead and draw Typhoeus. Oh, yes. You do know what he looks like, don't you? I believe I do. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just draw a big green snake monster. A big green snake monster, you say? Yes, a snake monster with the most unspeakably hideous face you can imagine. But you don't have to be too literal about that. Feel free to draw something a little more representational. I'm not sure if I'm particularly comfortable rendering such imagery. Why not? It strikes me as rather indecent, for reasons I would be too embarrassed to explain. Well, that's okay. Why don't I draw it? Very well, but you must excuse me if I giggle. Okay, but I don't see what's so indecent about a big old snake. Lol.
What? I'm Typhoeus.
Holy shit. When John got to the core, he arrived to find Typhoeus awake and ready for him. He was then presented with the choice. Snicker. Stop, you're gonna make me crack up too. This part's serious. I apologize. Please, go on. Sorry, Moonsetter. It's time for... Hey! God, I love that sound effect. His choice was presented as a kind of a riddle, spoken in a language only he could understand, spelling out the conditions he must accept. But speaking from experience, once a player is given the choice between two courses of action, it will hardly feel like a choice at all. If the heart's in the right place, then the right thing to do always seems obvious. So John accepted his denizen's terms, and with that, Typhoeus opened valves to the core and flooded it with oil. There was no way out. He could not transform into wind because he was completely submerged. So he was faced with two possibilities. Either he could figure out how to make himself disappear completely, using the ability he hoped to master, or he could drown. Drowning obviously wouldn't have been bad, but disappearing wouldn't be much better. He'd appear somewhere else, having made no progress on his personal quest. This planet would still be polluted, and he would be no closer to playing his song. Somehow, he understood the only way was to conceive of a third option, an idea beyond the simple binary set of outcomes before him. And interestingly, it was coming to this understanding which gave him the first glimpse of how to control the power. He realized it wasn't himself he needed to make disappear. It was the oil. He disappeared every drop throughout existence. And that's why that wasn't supposed to be there yet. So now there are John's arms all over the place, and now there's just little pieces of oil here and there that you might not have noticed. Or that you would never notice if you reread through this. Even in places where, like, it doesn't make sense for it to be. Like, it's as Dave Howie Mandel. Even in Alternia. Even on Alternia. Leaving a little mark for anyone who might notice, signifying his final mastery over his confining reality. Even in Alternia's past? Are there any in the dreamscape? Yes, there are some in the dreams. Even in Homestuck, they exist. But more importantly, leaving his planet clean and the pipes clear. Finally, they were ready to let the breeze flow, so he could play his song. Pipe Organ Kind by James Roach. Oh, a delightful little anticlimax there. Click. John has his own walk and talk. I don't suppose the breeze delivers anything anymore. Some things never change. Sup? Is that it? You find a spunky babe in a cool blue outfit hanging out on your planet. She doesn't belong here. What the hell is going on, you wonder loudly. You interrogate the rogue teen babe for answers. You mean girl. Rogue teen girl. So, alright, this seems largely pointless, but that's okay. Roxy? What's up? What are you doing here? I thought you were going to see your denizen. I did. You did? Yeah. How did it go? It went okay. Yeah? What happened? Oh, you know. Ventured to spooky subterranean lair for a bit of cathartic and life-altering monster real talk. Okay, that's a funny way of putting it, but yeah, me too. Yep, I figured your monster quest happened. I mean, once the gross black shit disappeared and the wind started blowing like a motherfucker. What did your monster say? I mean, hey, maybe we should try to be more respectful about our god monsters. Her name is Nyx. Right, what did Nyx say? Did she speak in the weird babbly language that you could still understand somehow, even though it made no sense? Fuck yes! It was downright incomprehensible in the way mysteriously understandable way. Yeah, she told me this riddle thing that basically spread it all out for me. Like what my options were and what would happen if I did the options and like the metaphysical and moral consequences of doing those options. Yeah, Typhoeus pretty much did the same thing with me. Typhoeus was the name of my snake monster, by the way. Woo, you had a snake monster? Yes, he was awesome. So did Nyx give you some sort of challenge to overcome? Which, by doing, you could get in touch with your powers? Which enabled you to appear here by doing like this incredible voidy thing that lets you phase out of reality and magically appear with me in this weird plane of existence? Lol, no. She pretty much just told me to fly to your planet, so I did. Huh. You mean like you just wrapped up your conversation with her, left her lair, and then flew to Loas? Yes. Okay. Oh, I know, right? Wow, what a quest. But when you think about it, it was the totes obvious thing to do. I didn't know it at the time, but you were gonna make your whole planet disappear. So if I wanted to keep persisting through your history, altering hijinks, then all I really had to do was come along for the ride. No monsterly night magics needed. Yeah, that makes sense. There were stipulations though. Mad stips, if you will, vis-a-vis buttloads of opaque goddess riddles. Right, you mean the choice thing. Yes. What were the mad stips? She said, keep in mind I am paraphrasing. If paraphrasing is even a thing you can do with stuff said in unfathomable monster jargon. That either I could stay behind and vanish into nothingness forever, and everyone in the new reality would inherit all the big-time responsibilities, including a version of myself who had no memory of any of this and never experienced all the loss and sadness I just went through. Or I could go with you. But in doing so, everyone I loved would know that loss instead, whatever that means. Yeah, Typhoeus gave me almost the exact same sort of choice. Something about other people feeling the loss I felt if I accepted his challenge. Which I'm sure is probably not good, but I mean, what else was I going to do? I can't just let things stay the way they were. Yeah, exactly. Her caveat sounded ominous as shit, but there was something that didn't sit well with me about doing nothing. Accepting her terms just felt right, you know? Yes. So here I am. Yes. I'm glad it worked out like this. I was fully prepared to do this alone, to hop around and change things in whatever way, and I would get to see my friends again, even if they don't remember all the same stuff I do, which was a lonely feeling, if that makes sense. But now I'll have someone else to remember the way things originally went. Word. Yes, word indeed. But I know what you mean. It's nice to have like a witness, I guess. Someone to authenticate the rough shit you went through, even if we never end up talking about it again. The fact that at least someone else knows makes it feel like it didn't all mean nothing. Right. Because even if it all gets erased and put all back all better, I don't think the stuff we went through and the feelings we had meant nothing. In my opinion, IMO, the feelings themselves and the way they shaped us, that all means something. Forget it, talking on my ass here. No, it makes sense. And anyway, if nothing else, everything that happened brought us here. The stuff we're about to do, whatever it is, wouldn't be possible otherwise. And that feels pretty important if you ask me. So all that wind, that was you, right? Yes. I don't see any glitchy trash. Guess your humongous blowy spell did away with all that grody nonsense. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't even notice until you just mentioned it, but I guess that dumb problem is finally busted, thank God. Oh, real. I heard music, too. Did you hear music? Yeah, that was me, too. I was playing a magic organ. Oh, relay. Yes, there's this huge organ. That is almost certainly what she said. Oh, shush. Anyway, this huge pipe organ, it let me play the breeze, so to speak. I think that was the only way to get rid of all those clouds and let the fireflies go. This is their home, huh? I guess so. I'm surprised by how my quest turned out, too, to be honest. It's kind of bittersweet, seeing all Twinkly Herbert's bros and sisters going home. Twinkly who? My pet firefly. I'm guessing this is where he was from. Oh. They all seem happy, though. Look at them all blinking away into the blank ass yonder. Why is this guy blank, by the way? It's blank because it's nothing. Nothing? Why is it nothing? Where are we? Where even are we? It's nothing because we're literally nowhere. Okay, how can you tell it's actually a field of nothingness, as opposed to just a bunch of regular empty space that happens to look vaguely neutral? How can I tell? I guess I just can. No, but how? Why don't you ask yourself? You're the one who asked me why I was blank in the first place. So why did you choose the term blank in your question? Damn, owned at the philosophies. So owned. You'll find I'm the best there is at those. It's true. I'm always getting owned by those by you and your kin. Recently, your crazy dog sister was schooling me on perfectly generic cubes. You mean generic objects? Generic fort blocks. Yes. Now you're dropping truth bombs about blank skies on me. Shouldn't I be like innately stellar at this sort of stuff as a void player? Must be coming off slow as fuck on the uptake here, aren't I? Not really. You seem pretty smart to me. I do? Yeah, you have a funny and snappy way of talking. Like Dave, but unlike that knucklehead, I sense that behind all your jokes, you're probably some kind of brainiac, like Rose. Wow. Don't get me wrong, I meant knucklehead in a good way. Dave's actually the best dude, and I think you'd like him. I bet you are correct. So Dave, he's my son, right? I mean, yeah, pretty much. Honestly, it gets weird to think about all our relations in that way sometimes. I get you. Like, when I think about you and Wolf Jade being the kids of Jane and Jake, oh my fucking god, that's so cute. So what is it you think's weird about Dave being my son? I think we should change the subject. Alright, what were we talking about again? We were talking about blank skies and fort blocks and such. Oh, yes. And you thought you should know more about things like that as a void hero. Which reminds me, do you think you're any closer to making that alien egg? I mean, after seeing Nyx, did you feel like a power boost or anything? A power boost? Like Mega Man or? No, not like Mega Man. I mean like, you were asking if she taught me to do the voidy thing. Well, did she? Nah, dude. Told you. We did our chat in some horseshit elven baloney tongue, and she just told me to come here. Like, that's literally it. Go to a planet if you want to live. So I did. There wasn't really any soul searching or getting in touch with my inner miracles. Oh, well, that's kind of a bummer. I hope you weren't shortchanged out of an important mystical and spiritual process of self-discovery. What? Sorry, it's just, sometimes you sound so much like Jake, it's really quite uncanny. But yeah, I don't care about that, really. It was either take an uneventful and non-spiritual trip to a wind planet or just stop existing altogether. I think I'll be fine without the self-discovery part. Yeah, or, wait, what if that was part of it? Part of what? Your quest, like to be here, and learn to use your powers, right? Better? We are kind of in a realm of literal nothingness, right? Now, maybe you'll be able to draw in energy or inspiration from the void or whatever. Nyx, why you sly old bitch? Does that make any sense? It kinda does. It kind of loads it does. Oh, sweet. I was just grasping at straws there, but now that you agree, I'm suddenly a lot more confident in my theory. Yeah. Shake. So why don't you try it out again? What, the egg? Like, right now? Sure. Meh. TBH, I'm a bit sick of trying to summon that ugly damn egg. How about later? I'd rather just keep BSing with you for a while, rather than get right down to freaking business. I guess there's really no hurry, not in this place at least. I don't think this place has any bearing on other timelines. It's almost like taking a time out from our canonical lives. If you wanted, you could take as much time to practice here as you need. I'm down as heck with that. Could use a breather from my canonical life. Me too, even though I'm not sure I have one anymore. Well, since we already talked about my quest and like spiritual Mega Man style power boosts and all that, what about yours? How'd that go? How'd it go? Pretty well, I'd say. No, but I know you blew away some clouds and blanked out the sky and all, but the point was so you could learn to control your zappy powers, did you? I think so. I haven't really tried a controlled jump yet. I see. Well, when you do, where do you think you'll jump to first? I have no idea. The thought of changing the timeline is still mind-boggling to me. Well, if nothing else, you really should go grab that ring before the smug troll can take it. I mean, there was lots of problems already, but her coming back to life really fucked us over in the shittiest max possible. That's right. I definitely wanted to go back and get the ring off my couch before I lost it. At the very least, that way you could use it to help your friend. Yep. Any other ideas? Not much. So much has happened, it's hard to even think about. It's not even limited to what I've been through, either. I've seen a lot of other crazy stuff just from my random jumps. Like what? Like, the last place I was, actually, just before I came back to find your session in ruins, I actually got into a pretty serious fight. Oh? With this guy, Skull Kid. He's a huge asshole and a horrible artist. You saw the Skull Kid's drawings? Unfortunately. In fact, I was in his drawings once. It was a true nightmare come to life. I'm pretty much convinced he is the guy behind all of the problems we've ever had, even though he's a complete ignoramus. Then you mean it was Callie's bro? Yeah, probably. I have a feeling someday we'll all have to take him down, but probably when he grows up to be his adult self. When I beat him up, he was just a teen scamp, like us, but with a skull for a head and a robot leg, a cape which I ripped to shreds, and a pair of dumb suspenders. You beat him up? Damn, y'all must be strong! Nah, not particularly. I was just really angry, and I caught him off guard drawing some shitty animes. Fuck his animes. They were quite literally the worst animes I have ever seen. I hope I hurt his drawing hand, and he never does any more ugly art for the rest of his stupid immortal skull monster life. Yeah, I know that guy. He used to troll my friends all the time. Wait, no, he used to jeer us. He's a tool. Huh. It just occurred to me. Aside from fixing the timeline, there's another benefit to my new power. Once we all decide we're ready to fight him, I could just zap us all right to him. We could take him by surprise again. I really doubt he'd be able to handle us all if we clobbered him at once. That's pretty good thinking, but maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Making plans for Rumble Royale with Mangaka Dude Bro, Lord of the Shitwanks. We should probably focus on bringing our loved ones back to life first. Oh, damn. Is that Dirk's anime sword? What's up with that? This is where Dave's bro died a few years ago, probably while being heroic and cool. Jade made his body disappear to bury him, but I guess she left the sword here. She and Dave Sprite and I gathered around where he was buried, and Dave Sprite said some stuff about him. Stuff that was really funny and rambly, but also weirdly poignant. I guess it was a bit like a funeral. A funeral, you say? Yeah. Phase. Yoink! Anyway, you're right. Taking a break from the mayhem is nice and all, but I should probably get going. I have a lot of responsibility now. I hope I can live up to it. Well, to quote an extremely wise and hunky dude I once knew, oh man, he was so wise, I hope I don't butcher his quote, but I think it goes a little something like, you can handle it, John. I believe in you. Oh, thanks. Remember what I said too about practicing voidy stuff? I will. Good. Alright, cool. Yeah. Yeah? Cool. Damn it. What? We're doing this again. Doing what? Being awkward instead of getting our shit in gear? Whoops. Too bad Grouchy Scarf Troll ain't here to coordinate another stilted goodbye. Yeah, it's just as well, though. There's no need for goodbyes. If I really can control it now, I should be able to come back here anytime I want. Which means I won't be gone that long. Okay, I'll be here, waiting, training, partying with those yellow lizards. Oh, those are salamanders. Fuck. Later, Roxy. Hey, John finally gets his flying scene. Zap. But where to go? Yikes! I shouldn't mess around with that moment. It's way too fundamental. Let's try this again. Wow, no, whatever's going on here, this is completely useless to history. Let's get it together, John. You've got to go somewhere relevant. Try to think of something that will help target a certain point in time. Try to think about one of your pals. Hey! Wait a minute. I remember this. Hey, you shouldn't be here. What the hell? Gotcha! Intense stare down. No, no, no. This is not time for the self-cessed makeouts. Put that gun down. Stop fooling around and go find Roxy, you dumb goof. Who's Roxy? Ow! Wow, I can't believe how naive I was, like a day ago? It feels like it's been longer than that. Hard to believe. I was so confused when that happened. I was sure the other me knew so much more than I did at the time, which is kind of true, but also kind of not. Like, if I traveled back here and altered reality in a non-time travel-y way, then why do I remember doing it? Did I just make some sort of stable retcon loop? Does that even make sense? I think I did the right thing, though. Zapping my other self out of there, it was like a retroactively preemptive continuity adjustment. Retroactively preemptive? What am I even talking about? This power is kind of complicated. I need to be careful. Gotta come up with a better plan than zapping to wherever my stupid whims take me. I really need some help with this, but who should I ask? Dave? Well, he knows stuff about time travel, but then it's not really time travel, is it? No, I need someone with a different kind of skill. Someone who knows the consequences of certain actions. How the consequences of certain actions play out. Someone like Rose? Is that what her powers really did? I really should have taken some time to figure out what her powers did. Or maybe... Wait a minute. Wait! I think I understand what she was trying to do now. She was trying to give me a way to come back. Like zero in on our thought signal or something. Terezi, you're a genius. I mean, you're a weirdo, but you're also a genius! Alright, let's just see if this works. Maybe if I just think of it hard enough. Ahem. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like... home. What happened? Did it work? No, it did not. Well, damn, it was worth a shot, I guess. I'm sorry. I can't help you. I can't help anyone. You'd better go. But what will you do? I'll probably just bleed to death on this desert, alone and irrelevant. That's so shitty, though. What if you... Stop. Just stop. There's nothing more for me to do. I don't even have a denizen to go visit. My friends are dead, and I wasted my life. It's over for me. And you're the only hope we have left. So get out of here. I guess you're right. Okay, off I go then. If I master my powers, I guess I'll figure something out. Don't worry, Terezi. I'll make sure none of this ever happens. No, that's it. Well, except for John's return. I'm starting to remember the things she told me so vividly now. It's amazing what a creative project can do to get your mind turning. What shall I draw first? The Land of Wind and Shade. That's where the story starts. I see. Which story exactly? Her story or yours? Both, as a matter of fact. My story began with a tragedy in Lowas, which led to meeting her in the first place. And then she used my memory of that tragedy as a starting for her story, which turned out to be related. Oh, fascinating. I love stories. Hold on. Did I accidentally... Fuck, I accidentally went back. Okay. Shit, I biffed it. Alright, let's... fuck. We gotta skip ahead. Light speed! I failed to appropriately activate the password. I apologize. That's weird. I'm not getting the password screen. which is funny. Like, that should happen. Well, I'll figure out how to activate the passwords in just a second. Until then, you all sit tight until tomorrow.